Well, good Saturday afternoon, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I appreciate everybody coming in here because it is Saturday afternoon, the day before the Super Bowl, and you could be anywhere else, but you chose to spend some time with us, and we appreciate you guys. We've got, of course, this is our Saturday, I guess we're going to call it the bitch session, because we're going to be bitching about the Cowboys and all the problems and things that they have. And if you are a channel member, shout out to you and thank you very much. The link for the call-in is in the community tab. Hit it up, join us in here. I see Lady Libra, she could join if she wanted to. Crystal, Caramel, Corn, shout out to the lovely ladies. So let me get the group that's in here. And man, we got a stranger in here. Aisha Robinson, long time no see, girl. How you been doing?
I'm all right. Just visiting my mom right now.
Okay, I hope she's doing good. How's she doing?
Right, she's in dialysis right now.
Okay. Tell her we said hello. How are you? So, I was talking briefly when I first got here. Loyal Cowboy was the first one in here. We got Julian is also in here right now. And Micah Parsons' show. I kind of have this thing that I feel like you have X amount of time to set yourself up for the rest of your life. If you're a football player, you got a window 4 to maybe 15 years, right? If you do it right, you don't have to worry about a thing the rest of your life. You can be retired with all the benefits that all the rest of us are working for the rest of our lives, okay? I'm 58 years old, and since I was 15 years old when I got a job at McDonald's, I've been working on my retirement, right? And I still got a long, long ways to go to get there. You as a football player, if you become one of those roughly 3,000 players that have won a Super Bowl, you could really write your own ticket. You can be done for the rest of your life and do anything that you want to. So when I hear that we're tired, I don't understand that, because I got to tell you, all the years I've been working, I get tired. I understand being tired. What's everybody's thoughts on this thing? You know, we're beginning to kind of peel back the onion layers, and we're hearing from more and more people. Micah Parsons, of course, has had some great interviews and things in there. We've heard him basically tell the Eagle fans he didn't even do his Eagles interview. He skipped it because he didn't want to go to Philadelphia. He wanted to get out of town, didn't want to deal with those people. But
they don't want it, man. They're just a bunch of spoiled, entitled kids that don't want it. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And Micah should be, D-Law should be ashamed to say that, oh, we're tired.
Hello.
Why are you playing football?
Yeah. Hey, Stacy, how are you doing?
If you're going to sit there and say you're tired, we ain't trying to hear that.
Why are you there?
But you're in the wrong sport.
Loyal.
If you're going to lay down for a team just because you're tired, I'm sorry. I mean, they can hate me or whatever, but that's not why you play football. And that's not going to get you wins. You're not going to win by just sitting there saying you're tired. You got to go out there and fight.
If you
ain't willing to fight,
Loyal. Here's what's crazy. I've been working on the man cave. We had a Super Bowl party for your bar, cleaned it all up, getting this together, and took one of the TVs and put it up over the bar, and put it on the Cowboys versus Washington game. You know what's funny about that game? That we won 35-10. I'm seeing D-Law making moves like he's a young man, getting to Sam Howell. You know, he helped force an interception. I see all of them, boom, run to the end zone there, celebrating. They didn't look tired in that game. So I'm trying to understand what happened between beating Washington 35-10 to now showing up against Green Bay. Anybody got an answer on that one? Hey, Stacy.
You know what I thought about? I'm just getting. I've been without internet service for about 3 or 4 hours, but I just came back up.
Okay.
My thoughts. So again, they're always anointing themselves. And Mark, I've been just as disgusted as you have. I told you my dad is getting older. I mean, like you, I'm losing family members. I want, and I want my family members to see them win again.
Yeah.
But when he said that he was tired, even was he too tired to pick up his check?
Right. Oh no, that's direct deposit. So he
run for that.
Mike McCarthy. What really angered me about that? Mike McCarthy gives them, and D-Law's a veteran. He gives them all those veteran days off for rest. Why were you so tired? Because Green Bay didn't look tired. That's
hungry.
Shout out to Tay Cowboys. Tay Cowboys says I was almost too tired to hit the like button.
Mark, can I ask you something?
What's that, Aisha?
What was your opinion when you saw your coaches going to the division rival?
I don't blame them.
We got a little bit weaker. You know, that you got people that know your team and your players. See, the thing that I look at it right now is the Eagles have a lot of problems. As much as you know that they were at the Super Bowl and stuff, they've got a lot of contracts that they've got to deal with right now. And they have a defense. I mean, their secondary is not good. They don't have the linebackers. They've got a lot of work, and they're bringing in new coordinators. They've cut the balls off of Nick Sirianni. So they've got a lot of work to do. And then now they got Kellen Moore. So good luck with that one. Washington is going to have to rebuild, but they've got cash and a number one pick and a 4th-place schedule. So that may not be the worst situation right there. You could see them improving.
Well, and it's like you said, it's like Dan Quinn said when he exited, there's no urgency in Dallas.
No,
there is no urgency. We got a bunch of stubborn old men that think they're living this fantasy dream that we're gonna do things our way and we're gonna win, and that ain't gonna happen.
Well, even in the hiring process, the thing that drives me crazier than anything else is we're always taking our time doing anything.
They procrastinate. Jerry Jones dragging his. We're gonna go all in this year. We're gonna be this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do whatever it takes to win. No, you ain't.
If Mike Zimmer is the guy,
all he does it gives us false hope and fool's gold. Tells us he's gonna do something, get everybody excited for the season, and then they don't do nothing. I want to see what they do in March. I mean, if I'm Jerry Jones right now, if I was in that shoes, I'm looking at all the free agents right now, doing my due diligence, and come March, I'm making some phone calls. But we won't get that out of them. They'll just sit back and they'll wait and they'll let all these players go. They'll see who they can steal, get for the cheap, and then they'll sign somebody.
And that's the thing. Today, it's the 10th already of February. You've got the 11th is legal tampering. So if you're going to get Dak's deal done, you got a month to do that if you're trying to be a player in free agency. And you still have to get under the salary cap. So you got that $19 million you have to recoup. And then you still have, Stephon Gilmore says, I want to come back. You've got 16 free agents. So there is no time to wait. The thing is, you said 2 days ago that it looked like Mike Zimmer was going to be the guy. Why isn't it done? Why isn't he here already trying to get his feet on the ground and get working on figuring out who's going to be his staff and which players and what kind of defense we're working? We're just taking care.
They signed Dan Quinn, then they signed Cliff Kingsbury. We've only signed one coach.
Well, and Joe Witt.
Hearing about we're looking into signing. I'm tired of that.
Well, we haven't actually signed him yet.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Game time.
Listen.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of think that I'm not. I kind of think that they're actually going to do something this year. Honestly,
they need to get going.
Me that they're going to do a move. I don't know what it is, so I don't know. But I think they're going to do something. I really do. But again, actions speak louder than words. We can't even get a defensive coordinator.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
So.
Like
Thomas, the game should be done for Dak. It should be done already. What are we waiting on?
Just like Game Time Brian said, actions speak louder than words. All of the talking that Jerry is doing, the shit is getting old. It's getting old. If y'all can't, if nobody on the panel and on the chat panel can't see that, then you got to be the dumbest MFs around. This shit is getting old, man, because every year it's the same thing.
Jerry Jones wants his ratings.
He's got that.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. He don't care anymore. Yeah. Jerry do not give 5 bucks on on
Not
what's
one,
going on
not
in the
two,
future.
not
He
three,
don't.
not four.
Mark.
He don't.
Yes. So let's Stacey get in here. Stacey.
So me and the lady, I guess see it, or you would have said something. So yeah, don't want no soft man. We having a little conversation here in the chat. Gina says she want a backbreaker, and all the ladies agree. If you soft or you tired, you need to keep it moving. Just saying, that's not what we want. So
Oh wow.
don't want no soft man or tired. Keep moving.
Damn, D-Law.
Yeah. You want to hear the best part of the D-Law's comments? Is that, you know how many fourth quarters the starters rested this year?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Not to mention all the Wednesday Veterans Days every
off.
Wednesday. Nobody was involved, so
that too.
You know,
9 out of 17 fourth quarters the starters rested. We're tired.
I have a feeling, Julian, that it was just to.
I just need y'all to know something. I ain't built for no soft man.
I don't think he knew.
I'm mouthy, I talk back,
so.
and I don't listen. Honey, you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit.
Damn.
What the hell is that?
Hold on, wait. For the ladies, wait, real quick. Let me see if I can get.
I'm looking at all the mouths. I'm like, I don't see nobody talking.
No, that was a TikTok.
Comment section up. Keep it hard and keep it up.
I just need y'all to know something. I ain't built for no soft man. I'm mouthy, I talk back, and I don't listen. Honey, you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit.
Hey, Mom.
Damn. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Jim wants somebody to crack her back.
Damn.
Okay.
Hey, Mom.
All right.
Dang.
Back cracker.
TA said better up than down. Whoop.
And I believe Eastside Harold just ran out the joint.
Mama said she want her back, bro.
Shoo.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, ma'am.
At all the playoff games I've seen, I never see you that mad by a game before. I'm like, whoa.
Well, I want to play something real quick here, which I can't put it up on the screen because every time I've done one of these, the Micah Edge Parsons things, they always get demonetized. But go on Twitter, you'll see. Just look at CeeDee and you'll see it. When you see CeeDee, how he's dressed, he's got overalls on. One side's up, the other side's down. And it's got little sparkle things on there, right? You know, and he's got a styrofoam plate with some food, and it looks like he's got a hot dog on there on the fork. And this is what
the pinks.
This is. I want you to listen to what he said. Okay, so in your mind, think about how CeeDee. Oh, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I'll pop it up on the screen here so you can see what he looks like. But then I'll take it. Okay, you can see how he's sitting here, right?
My man's double fisting glizzies.
So no, it's a short glizzy. It's more like a Vienna sausage. Okay. All right. So let me play what he says. Now he's taking accountability and says he needs to grow up. But I'm looking at him, and you look like you're a 5-year-old. Here we go.
Absolutely. What do you feel like you have to do to help lead this corpse, you and Dak, to take us to the promised land?
First and foremost, I do got to grow up. There's plenty of ways of me handling different situations.
Actually, what the heck? It'll get demonetized, but you got to see this.
Absolutely.
Just look at this.
What do you feel like you have to do to help lead this corpse, you and Dak, to take us to the promised land?
First and foremost, I do got to grow up. There's plenty of ways of me handling different situations. Me being mad is not one of the answers. You know what I'm saying?
So times throughout the year you get frustrated.
He looks like Chris Rock in New Jack City.
And just carrying it on.
I just feel like that's contagious. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Instead of just be like,
I could be more of a leader. You know what I'm saying? I could be more vocal, even though I know that's not me. But understanding the situation, bro. If I'm gonna take this label of being one, I take full accountability, bro. If I want to take this label of being one, I can't. It's times where I got to get out my shell. You know what I'm saying? My comfort zone.
And you got to rally the offense.
You feel me? And
Dak, find me.
Like, Dak, come on. Or, Dak, I'm not open on this. You got B. Cooks on whatever. Or you got MG on this. I could do this and do, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of ways of doing
feedback instead of just getting angry,
down,
and
getting quiet, and then nobody have answers. And now we look defeated on the sideline. We down 14.
Now, I like what he said, but I have a feeling like, when I see this and I see his manners, I feel like we are in grade school, and I'm the principal, and I'm like, Johnny, why are you acting up in class? Well, principal, I got to be more of a leader here, and well, why do you think you're having these problems? I mean, that's what it felt like.
A lot of the young players are, Mark. We just don't see it. That's not.
Does that look like somebody that's ready to go to war?
Well,
on Sunday?
Yeah. I don't know. I would just be leery to analyze their every word. I know that's all we got, but did you hear what Micah said?
What's that?
Micah said that he's not stressing over his contract. CD needs to get his first. So
okay, well,
that's what he said. So,
Mark, it's this generation right here.
Yeah,
soft.
It ain't just Michael and CD. It's the entire NFL.
Then maybe I just don't understand these kids today, because I can't see Michael Irvin like that.
And Mark,
they're brought up different than we were.
They want the
Stacey,
bag.
you're involved in the school system, correct?
I would say that again, Game Time.
Yes,
you're involved in the school system, right?
They want the bag.
Well,
And
without getting Stacey in trouble,
They don't care.
I hear nightmare stories about, and I don't know what grade you're in. I forget. I think you said you were in high school, right?
I teach high school. Yes.
Yeah. But what's going on
in high school?
What's going on in grade school and middle school? It's crazy. Some of the things I'm hearing, just
it's
absolutely crazy. So, and she's got to watch what she says. But this does not surprise me, and this is nothing. Mark, if you heard half of the stuff that these kids are
doing.
Well, that, and they don't want to be known as a man or a woman.
It's crazy. It is.
I don't want to get into it, because then it gets. If you only knew, I hear it and I just like, oh my God, thank God, thank God. I just hope that it goes and comes, because this sounds horrible. So
I deal with it every day.
So when you hear Micah talk like CD talk like that, it's not. It's fine. He's just like a lot of young. He's a kid. He's literally a kid. He came out as a junior, so you got to remember that as well. He's a kid.
Yeah. Both of him and Michael came out as juniors.
Yeah, these are both young kids. So
is Green Bay. They're
even younger too.
Green Bay's, but they're the same generation bracket as we are. These guys just need to find themselves. Man.
Did you hear that interview with Jordan Love, Mark?
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, basically said, he basically said your linebackers suck. You got a D back for. I mean, he didn't say suck. He was like, that you had problems at linebacker. That you got a DB as a linebacker. So we were able to run the football.
Just like a lot of people I know want to know why we played zone. We didn't have anybody else to play. If the team had a running game, we should have been smart enough to pick up on this. Shame on me for not seeing it. But everybody goes, "Wow, we can't stop the run." We don't have anybody.
We haven't.
Once Leighton Vander Esch got hurt, it was a wrap. You could beat up on,
and and Game Time, Brian. It go back to what I said a couple of weeks ago. You got rid of your linebackers. You got rid of Devin Harper. You got rid of Isaiah Land. You got rid of Todd Story.
I don't understand.
You got rid of all of these linebackers.
Right there.
And guess what?
All those moves?
Guess what? And guess what? It came back to bite us.
Remember all those moves? They kept. I want to know. This is the
here we go. Leo wants to come in, y'all.
On the wall. That's what I would want to know. I don't need somebody to answer why we played zone. I have eyes. I know why we played zone. I know why we played 6
I didn't call you a stranger.
Cornerbacks in a playoff game. I know that answer. I want to know why you didn't address the linebacker position
for 2 years.
You kept messing with the roster and dangling. All these guys that Thomas is naming, they all could have helped us.
But you know what? But game time, hold on. Hang on.
If they would have played in the Green Bay game, we probably would have won.
That's what I'm saying. It's about stopping the run and running the ball.
Right. But here's what drives me crazy, though, is unfortunately people don't dig deep enough. They'll go through and say, and I'm not going to say Micah had a great game, but he couldn't do that by himself. People will go through and say he's selfish because he's not learning to be elite in two places. But we didn't have the people to do the job. You've got a first-year starting quarterback that recognize y'all guys suck at linebacker, so we know to run the football. Why try and pass against your good secondary? And here it is. We don't do anything about it.
And anybody else who, when they look at a game, and go, "Oh, Dak Prescott's 2-5 in playoffs," and they do it to the highest level. Okay, so it's no wonder that the average person gets caught up in there and doesn't really look into past the marquee guys. It's always the marquee guys. You get too much credit, and then you win Super Bowls, with the Robert Jones, the middle linebacker for Dallas. You win Super Bowls with the Kenny Gant. You win Super Bowls with the lesser likes.
The Tony Casillas and things.
On your team.
Yeah.
You can't win. Listen, not everybody can be the 49ers, right? If anybody caught my live today, I kind of went on a rant when somebody was saying something, and I just want to get this off, and then I'll shut up. You guys can talk. But, the only reason why the 49ers are doing what we were crying for the Dallas Cowboys to do, go all in on our quarterback's rookie deal. We had an opportunity. Dak Prescott opened up his career winning his first 10 games out of the box. We had years. We had a lot of years, Mark, because
years that you were paying him shit
on the franchise tag, for crying out loud.
But
we didn't go all in like the Niners are now. So when the Niners win tomorrow, we could all look at Jerry and go, this could have been us. But you wanted to, not go all in when Dak wasn't making.
They're idiots.
Silly poo, as Jim Moore Sr. would say.
Our front office is idiots. They don't know squat about football.
Well,
they are just dumb.
I think what happened was they won their Super Bowls in the 90s. And then they concentrated on bringing the Cowboys to where they are now monetarily. They lead all sports franchises. They're right at $10 billion in worth. The most, the richest franchise in sports, any sport history. They are successful in that realm. As far as winning Super Bowls, that's an afterthought.
That's all they care about is money and revenue. That's
it. I know.
They don't have no idea what they're doing, and they don't want to listen to nobody. They know what
they're doing. They're trying to win it their way. They know how to win. They're trying to cheat the system.
I guarantee you, anybody on the stream right now could probably run an organization better than Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones.
That's what they're trying to.
They're trying to cheat.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to cheat the system.
Yep.
And they're trying to do it. They're trying to do it in a Hollywood kind of way.
They don't want to do it with a guy like Belichick, because then what's going to happen after they win the Super Bowl, after not winning it for 29 years? You bring in Bill Belichick, and within 2 years, you win a Super Bowl. What are people going to say? Not that Jerry Jones or Stephen Catboy did anything. It's going to say, it took Bill Belichick to get it done. That's what they're going to say. So they're going to try and win with... No, I'm not trying to upset anybody, but they're going to try and win with Mike McCarthy or Mike Zimmer or some young Jason Garrett. That's who they're going to try and win with. They're done with the Parcells experiment.
So, what do you guys think about Mike Zimmer? What's your confidence level on a 1 to 10 scale of bringing Micah Parsons in as the new defensive coordinator?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who you bring in if you don't support them. If you don't, because this is what the Cowboys always do, and it's to the nth degree. Tony Pollard was not a between the tackles every down back, but we're going to make him that. We're paying you $10 million. We need you to be the specialist that can make the big plays on third downs, but we also need you to run between the tackles. You take a Tyrone Crawford and say, well, he can play and tackle. He doesn't do either of them great. He's okay in a pinch, but you can't make that a living. Oh, we don't have a linebacker. We'll just take a safety and we'll make him a linebacker. That's the problem. And you can see it's all the way filled all the way down to Jesse Holley. Well, Micah, he's not playing elite at linebacker. He's just being lazy. No, you need a damn edge rusher to concentrate on being an edge rusher. TJ Watt isn't playing linebacker and having to play two positions. You got Joey Bosa. He's not having to do that and be elite in two positions. They put other people around him. So bringing in Mike Zimmer means nothing if you don't get some linebackers and get some real help. The thing about Dan Quinn gets a raw deal. But I'm going to be honest with you. The way I look at it now, I almost feel like he was being successful with smoke and mirrors. Our defensive line was not good. Our linebackers were not good. He had guys that could rush the passer, and he did that extremely well. They got their D-backs together. But without linebackers, you ain't ever going to stop the run.
Yep. I'm going to read something to y'all. This is what I sent to you, Mark, and Game. Mm-hmm. It says, Jerry Jones promises that the Cowboys will dominate in 2024. We are going to bet everything. Jerry Jones commented that the Cowboys team was going to attack 2024 in a different and forceful way.
Yeah.
We are going to bet everything. You will see it next year. We will not use it to build the future, referring to the fact that the success of many teams in recent years has decided because they have been aggressive in free agency, trades, and put together a great team to win that season. That's what Jerry Jones said the other day.
You know what?
Yeah, he said that.
Cowboy, it's only one thing I have to say about that. I want to see it.
Thank you.
I'm tired of all the bullshit. I want to see it. Yeah. Stop talking that bullshit and do what has to be done.
And the thing is this, I think they're actually going to do something this year. I do. But again, what's scary is they can't even get a defensive coordinator in place. But they made sure that they, messed with the NFL honors night and we're dragging now to the eve of the Super Bowl. We may hear something right tomorrow afternoon before the game, So that's
possible.
This organization, I don't know. They're in a bubble, and I don't really know if they're hearing us. So, but I
don't know about that. I actually, I don't know how you couldn't. I understand, Brian. We are a whole other. We're almost like another division of the Cowboys. There's so many Dallas Cowboys YouTubers, and you think about how big some of them are getting, with Law and Vosh and everything else, that you're getting the pulse. And if you really are in business about it, you are listening to the fans as well and seeing this.
That's your job these days, to listen to the
fans.
To everything.
I don't know that I've ever heard for this long. Usually by now everybody's checked out. This anger is continually going on, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
I actually think they're going to do something. But here's the thing. Here's the deal. In order for anything to work, they got to have a Dak deal in place. Mm-hmm. You could, again, I'm going to say it again. You could pay him $60 million. I don't care. It has nothing to do with that. But both sides need to come to a deal that's going to make it like they did with Jalen Hurts, to where the first couple of years or cap friendly. That's how it needs to be. He's still going to get his guaranteed money, but
do they really know what they're going to do? Really know what they're doing? They were going to interview Rex Ryan.
Well, that was just all BS. Come on, that was a headline. That was a Rex Ryan. And listen, it is what it is. Mike Zimmer is a fine hire, even though they haven't freaking hired him yet. Yeah, it's not done. And good for Mike Zimmer. Like Mark wants to say that he hopes Dak gets every dime. I hope Mike Zimmer gets every little thing he wants, because there's no salary cap at coaching. So go out and get the best.
No.
So Mike Zimmer, I'll tell you one thing, Thomas. You ain't going to have too many players that are getting tired under Mike Zimmer. Okay?
No. Hell no.
So that's the difference. Everybody loves Dan Quinn, and he did a great job. He was a player's coach.
Yeah.
He put your arm around you and tell you a great war story. But sometimes you need somebody to put a boot where the sun don't shine, okay, and not blow smoke up, up everybody's butt.
Right.
Yeah.
And and Mike Zimmer, he's not an enabler either. He's not an enabler.
He'll call you out on the practice field, which is the only thing I don't know how it's going to work, because McCarthy's not that guy. It could be like a big time conflict because McCarthy doesn't like that. He doesn't want it. So, I just hope Zim comes in and sticks to what he does.
Hey, it's like this. Mike, Big Mike, your job is in jeopardy. You would do anything. You would go through the pits of hell to get that new contract. If you want this man to come in here and kick some ass and restore order to your defense, so let it be.
Your job's in jeopardy.
Fat Lou says Dak needs to give us a refund.
You got your view.
If Dak needs to give a refund, there's a whole lot of guys out there that need to give refunds.
I know you got your nice guy view, but dude, you guys are going to shove them nice guy views down the toilet.
All right. Derek Young says Dan Quinn was average at best. I'm glad he's out. We should have fired his ass.
It's just, I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't as warm and fuzzy as we were made it to be. Am I the only one who feels that way? It doesn't seem like the Dan Quinn thing was as warm and fuzzy as we all thought.
It does not seem that way.
Unfortunately, Dan Quinn's downfall, I think, was how he just struggled so badly against the Shanahan coaching tree.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And, and people got to realize this, too. The Shanahan tree, they know Dan Quinn because they coach under him down in Atlanta. And, it goes back. It goes back to Atlanta. Because what most people don't know is that Dane, who coached in Miami, he's under that tree. He coached with him down in Atlanta. Y'all got to look it up for yourselves, because there are so many Shanahan leaves that's on that tree that coached under Dan Quinn when he was down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it came back to hunt him in the end.
Wow. Yeah, that's a sign of a coach not being able to evolve. To me, it's like if they still know what you're gonna do from years ago, you ain't changing nothing up.
But this has been going on before Dan Quinn. We haven't been able to stop the run for years.
Yeah, and
plain and simple. Before Dan Quinn, before the Mike Nolan, before the who's the old guy that we had before that?
Marinelli.
Rod Marinelli.
They've never been able to stop the run.
Well, and I was talking to Mark about, can do. Like I was saying to Mark, I don't know exactly what. Go ahead, Dolores.
No, I was trying to look what Wanda said in the chat.
Oh, we don't know. Dan Quinn's first press conference or words to the media, his first media scrum, as they call it, he made it clear that he was happy to be in an organization with a win today mode. He's happy to be with an organization that's ready to win today. So we don't know, as much as I said, about warm and fuzzy. Maybe you like I said, he wanted Bobby Wagner, Thomas. He did. That was his guy, and he didn't get him.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. Bobby Wagner, he's either coming to Dallas or he's going to Washington.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be with a Commander's helmet on. Watch it. We ain't getting him. He's either staying in Seattle or he's going to Washington. And who else did he want that we couldn't get? It wasn't. No.
Don't say couldn't get. Didn't want to get.
That's what I mean. They wouldn't go get him.
They would. Yeah, because we've had a lot of people who've wanted to be here, But wanting to be here
Everybody
and actually them
here.
wanting them to be here are two different things.
He could have helped us. Damn right, he could have helped us. He looked pretty decent, but I mean, we didn't want him. We didn't need him. Okay,
it's not aggressive.
The reason why we didn't get these players is because the clown show. Shout out to my Cowboys family who gave him that nickname. The clown show. They wanted to happen.
No, you're right.
The clown. It's the clown show. It's the clown show. They're the ones. They're penny pinching ass. They nothing. See, Mark, y'all gonna have me preach on here. Y'all gonna have me and raising hell on here. I don't want to do that.
Go ahead, talk that shit.
That's what we're here for. We're here to vent. We're with you. We're with you.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
We're all pissed off.
Yeah, let me hear it.
We could all bully him too.
And the sad thing is we're all here sitting here pissed off, going off. But Jerry and Stephen Jones is probably sitting back, got a cold one on their yacht, sitting there counting their money like.
No, he's probably, you see what I got? Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. Wait, tomorrow's the Super Bowl. And what are they talking about? Are they talking about the point spread? No, they're talking about the Cowboys.
How's your sister feeling right now?
Who?
How your sister feeling right now? The one that's an Eagle fan.
Oh, I just got you talking to her about right before I came on here, and she had called me and told me what kind of Super Bowl party was gonna be tomorrow. She doing all right. She's still kind of hot about what went down in Philadelphia, but other than that, she's doing all right.
It's funny because I keep seeing Eagle fans and they're like, you lost. I was like, hold up. Sit your ass on the couch right here with us, okay? Y'all lost to Tampa Bay too, so shut up. You done lost to Tampa Bay twice in the playoff. At least we beat Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Now shut up, Leo.
Not only that, we made him to retire.
I'm trying to understand what's going on because Leo's been in here and ain't said a word.
Because I'm not trying to take over.
Oh, Lord.
I try to take over, so I'm being respectful, and I'm just going to sit here and listen. I am like all of this stuff I'm hearing from all y'all's music to my ears, so I'm just loving it. I'm wallowing in your misery.
Hey, Leo, how you like your new coaches?
Wow, our misery is nothing compared to your misery.
I'll say this. You could draw you could draw some very serious parallels to both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. In particular, when you're talking about, to your point, the coaching staff. I think you could say, like for me, I would say this: if let's say there's something not right in the midst of the season next year, Nick's replacement is on staff right now.
Who?
Probably Kellen Moore.
It could be either Kellen Moore. I'm talking about.
I would love to see that.
You guys are done.
Time out. Let me explain something to you. When
Kellen
I say
Moore,
that,
you cook, dog.
hold on.
You good at cook.
Hear me out. Okay. What I am saying is that if, let's say, they start the season off and they lose 4 or 5 straight games, I can see them getting rid of Nick Sirianni.
You're right. You're right. Y'all won't hesitate to fire people.
Right.
And like us, Jerry Jones will keep people around.
Yeah, you could either put Vic Fangio or
Vic Fangio is a horrible head
Kellen
coach.
Moore as an interim.
That would be horrible.
Season.
That's
I'm not saying
your situation is no better than ours.
Right, and that's why I said
Vic Fangio is a good coordinator, not a good coach.
Head coach,
Kellen Moore couldn't even get a head coaching job at Boise State.
Well, Leo, Brian Johnson, he's not into Washington.
Wow.
What I was trying to get across is that if something doesn't work or things are catastrophic for the Dallas Cowboys at some point in the season, there is somebody on staff right now who would I could see
Zimmer,
Zimmer. Because isn't this Mike Zimmer's second time around with you guys?
Yeah,
and he was your defensive coordinator for a good minute.
Yeah,
right?
He went and got a head coaching job.
Yeah, and then left to go to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying to you is that the other thing too is that I do like the difference is when it comes to the rest of the coaching personnel that's been brought on. I do like what I'm seeing in terms of the activity and the quality of coaches that they're bringing in. There's a few guys on that staff now who are overqualified for their positions, but I like it. So I'm excited to see that. I'm just happy to see that.
Not Kellen Moore.
Things. Well, you know what, Mark? Bottom line,
they love Kellen Moore. They love him.
Let me say this to you.
They do right now, but we know they can turn real quick.
Let me say this to you, okay? When
I love you, Wanda.
You don't really hear from Jeffrey Lurie very often, if at all. He's not a meddler. But I will say this:
that's not what I've actually heard.
No,
what's his son?
No, well, hold on. Mind you, all I'm saying is that the moment he made his presence known or what he was thinking, things started happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's and they're the type of things that, as a fan, I would like to see. Whether these things work out or not is another story. But the fact of the matter is that there's a particular type of activity that is happening from the front office all the way down to the coaching that I like to see when you have a catastrophic event such as the one that we had happen to us. It's not like we dropped 5 of the last 6 games and then we went into the offseason and nothing happened. There was no movement. There was nobody was made to answer for anything. It was not like we just stood still. That owner came up out his office and said, hold up, I need to know what's going on. And as soon as they did that, that's when you seeing things happen. I like that.
You made moves. I give you that because we're still trying to figure out who's the defense coordinator is.
Like when I've seen what it looks like when teams don't do that. The other thing too is that when I look at where we're going in terms of even for the draft, we have a first rounder, 2 second rounders, a third rounder, and 3 fifth rounders.
Yeah,
we're in good shape. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about having the things that we have to answer for in terms of personnel on the field, you know. So and then on top of that, we have some free agents that I would really like to see, you know, brought back. I.e., I really hope that they bring DeAndre Swift back. You know what I'm saying? I like him in our running game. He showed us some things, and we can draft another running back to learn to get behind him. You know, people seem to forget that Isaiah Rodgers was on our team last year. He was just serving out that gambling suspension. You know what I'm saying? So you could toss his behind it.
Good, man. You got
take Cowboys. So Kellen Moore is your answer because he did wonderful things with Justin Herbert this year. It was incredible how good that offense was with Kellen Moore.
It's gonna go bad. It's gonna go bad.
I don't think
we tried to tell.
I don't think you would really respect me if you would actually think that I'm going to go off of what I saw with Justin Herbert. If I accepted that, Mark, I'm not accepting that. Especially when for the last few years you were one of the few that are quick to throw out all these great stats that Kellen Moore that came out about Dak Prescott during the Kellen Moore years.
Whoa, hold up. Whoa. Dak, yes.
What percentage of Dak's record against the Philadelphia Eagles was Kellen Moore? His
not all. Hold on. Not all of that was during Kellen Moore. Okay. Here's the funny thing. Hold, Leo. Let me stop right here. Let me say this. Okay, hold on. Let's go through this because we all think that all the credit goes to the offensive coordinator. Here's what's funny because he had Jason Garrett. He was successful with Jason Garrett, right? Jason Garrett goes to the Giants. Did Daniel Jones get better with Jason Garrett or did Jason Garrett get fired during the season?
He got fired.
He got fired. Okay, right. Okay. Kellen Moore is there, right? Kellen Moore gets fired. Did Dak Prescott's numbers this year, were they better or worse than with Kellen Moore? Better or worse? Because I could look back and say we had better running games with Zeke Elliott when Kellen Moore was there. We didn't have a running game this year. And Dak had 36 TDs, 4,400 yards.
Yep.
His second highest QBR of his career.
Yep.
Only 9 interceptions.
Yep.
So it wasn't, he played better with Mike McCarthy calling the plays with the new offense the first year than any of the years that he had with Kellen Moore. So are we saying that was Kellen Moore's genius? Because Kellen Moore goes with the Chargers with a guy who we say is generational with the running game, with playmakers out there, Keenan Allen and things like that.
They got hurt.
But even before he was hurt, his numbers were not good.
Wait a minute.
Okay, Leah, I tell you what, Leah, I'm gonna make it easy. Leah, I'm gonna make it easy. You got a great offensive coordinator, and I'm so happy for you. Enjoy Kellen Moore. He's the bomb.
We had this same conversation with Chargers fans last season.
Wow.
We had the same conversation.
No. Hold on. Time out. All I'm asking you to do is I'm just asking you to think for a hot second. I am not trying to sell you on the fact that I'm happy about Kellen Moore. That is not what this is. Okay. What this is that, because thank God we got the tape. You know what I'm saying? But Kellen Moore is only 1 year removed from the Dallas Cowboys. That was goaltending. And so I'm talking the years that he was with you guys. There was a narrative that was being pushed that Kellen Moore was a good reason why Dak was doing as well as he was doing. Am I wrong here?
Yes, but it was not pushed by us. It was not pushed by me. It was not pushed by me.
The media's narrative.
Well, it took us a while to realize, and then he had an opportunity to go back and interview for Boise State, and had a horrible interview. He wasn't a very good interviewer. All the teams he went through. You know how it is when he left, and this is before he wasn't good.
So Kellen Moore. All right. So I just want to be sure I'm clear. Just help me out here. So when we look at Kellen Moore, when we look at Dak during the Kellen Moore years, you all are telling me that wasn't actually Kellen Moore. That was somebody else on the team.
No, he was a decent regular season coordinator. He could put up the stats. So
he just didn't know how to make adjustments
and yardage and making sure your quarterback is, because Dak, that was the year Dak was the MVP runner-up. I don't know who was number 2 this year, but it should be Dak.
Well, Dak had the only vote that didn't go to Lamar Jackson. So I guess you say he's the runner-up.
I guess here's the $1 million question for me when it comes to you guys, because you guys obviously know him way better than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Don't put up stats, Leo. He will. Problem is, and then I'll let you talk. The problem is with Kellen. Now maybe he's learning, or maybe it didn't look like he learned this.
Did not.
He has a couple issues, and I'm just going to give you the heads up. That way, this is something for you to look forward to. His issue is when he plays a good defense, he does not change up on the fly. He's never been able to. He's never been able to do that. Now, again, that doesn't mean he's horrible. He's a very good offensive coach, but when you play the better teams, his halftime adjustments, we've always used to tail off in the second half against him. He never did. He never seemed to got started in LA Chargers. Right. So, and he didn't get the ball to the running backs a lot via the pass. He doesn't do it much.
I tell you what kills me.
But he doesn't throw it to your backs. Anyway,
I'm not judging the San Diego year, because that was crazy.
Okay, I'm going to tell you his trick plays.
I'm mainly basing my opinions of this man based off of what I saw while he was playing with Dallas, because that's what I know. Okay, because that stuff went down on me.
And maybe we're wrong. Maybe Justin Herbert isn't the generational talent that everybody claimed, and that's the reason why Kellen Moore wasn't successful with them. Maybe. All I know is it seemed like every trick play that we had never tricked anybody but ourselves.
Right.
And when it came to playoffs, it seemed like all the things that we would do good went out the window. And I don't know if his sphincter muscle just got too tight and he couldn't call plays, but would not use 2 tight ends, 12 personnel, which was our best package. Wouldn't run the ball when it was prudent to actually run the football. And and the thing is, he would go through and you'd have games you're like, oh, he's turned the corner. He's incredible. Then there's other ones you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. Kellen Moore is a product of Linehan.
Yeah.
Right. Plain and simple. He came from a Linehan tree.
Yeah.
And he is pretty much the same person.
Okay.
Same person. Linehan would do some things good, but he couldn't make adjustments. And that's Kellen Moore. I mean, he's okay, but he's not going to make the adjustments. Now, y'all might be able to use him different. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Well, I guess where my number one thought process goes is, what is Kellen Moore, if this is what he was like driving the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I'm saying, then what is he going to be like driving the Philadelphia Eagles? You know what I'm saying? In terms
and I'm going to say, here's where I'm going to say that you may have a problem. Because I think Dak wasn't screwed up, first of all, by Jason Garrett when he got started. Basically, the Cowboys did not have enough time to mess him up. And Dak had skills. And Dak, you look at Dak right now, even when we've had bad years, he still looks really, really good and comfortable. I don't know that Kellen Moore can teach Jalen Hurts to stop having that instinct of, if my first read's not there, I'm going to run. And I'm not sure that Kellen Moore's passing game is going to fit what Jalen Hurts does. That would be my thing right there, because I'm not, I know Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl. He was an MVP candidate and everything else. He's a good player, but I don't know that he's an every down passer, and that's what he's going to have to be. Not an every down, but you know what I'm saying.
Everybody to give Dak a hard time, and Jalen had one good Super Bowl run with a great team, a great offseason by the Eagles. Shout out to Howie Roseman. But if you just take a step back, if everybody wants to be critical of Dak had an MVP runner-up season this year and shit the bed in the playoffs. The whole team did. So for anybody just to look at Dak, then that's just like you're not keeping it 100.
Look, you've got literally a first-year starting quarterback telling you that your linebackers sucked, and we knew we could run the football on you.
2 down years out of 3. He had a down year, so much so that they were made an offer for Russell Wilson, for crying out loud. And then it didn't happen. They went out and traded for A.J. Brown. They signed Ndamukong Suh. They signed Linval Joseph. They had a stud defense. And, surprise, surprise, they go and make a run and go to the Super Bowl and lose. And then this year, they don't have like a lot of those players. They had to let some Hargrave go. They had to and you had to rely on a couple rookies in the middle, which I told you at the beginning of the season is not easy to do. You lost both of your coordinators because you were in the Super Bowl, and he had a down year again. So the last 2 out of 3 years, his only years in the NFL, he's had 2 out of 3 down years. I like Jalen Hurts, but if we're going to keep it 100, let's keep it 100. That's all.
Okay, let me get this one point in here real quick.
Sure.
Okay, to give you an idea. Okay, Dak Prescott this year, without a running game, we did not. You can't honestly look and say we had a running game. Okay, Dak Prescott 69.5% completion percentage, 4,516 yards, 36 TDs, 9 interceptions, 105. And I dare say, I believe it was like 12 games or so that he ended up not playing sometime in the game. Those numbers could have been a lot higher for garbage time if he had been in, right? Aaron Rodgers, last time he was MVP, had a 68.9, less than a completion percentage than Dak. Had 4,100 yards, 400 yards less than Dak. Had 1 more TD and 5 less interceptions, and his rating was only 4 points higher. So that was the level of what Dak played versus Aaron Rodgers' last MVP season. And knowing that we could have, if you kept him in the Washington game, I guarantee he's got another touchdown or 2. Just that one alone. And how many of those games that you could have had those numbers?
He would easily broken that team passing roster.
Well, he owns it at 37. But my point being is, I look at that and say, Dak Prescott is a passer. Say what you want about him. Maybe you can say he's a choker, but Dak Prescott has some impressive numbers when it comes to passing the football. I don't know that Jalen Hurts has that kind of ability to be we're talking about Dak Prescott's passing numbers comparable with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but Mark, you're talking about this is where I sort of kind of take that thought process or that comparable with a grain of salt.
You guys going?
You're talking about somebody who has almost a 10-year body of work versus someone who's only been in the league for 4.
Yeah, and your guy's got one good year.
So you can
he's got one good year.
No, all I'm saying to you is that when you look at the body of work, you got 4 more years. You got almost double the amount of time,
and you have more consistency. You have more consistency with Dak Prescott and that longevity. You've got 25% of the years he's been elite or really good.
Yes, but let me ask you something. And looking at that, how has that equated in terms of success? Got you on the stats. You're right. Bro.
Hold on. Okay. When I look at your team, see this, and this is where it's shaded because it's not the same. You had last year arguably the best offensive line in football, right or wrong?
Correct.
You had one of the top 8 tight ends in football, right or wrong?
Correct.
You had 2 wide receivers that probably were in the top 10, right?
Correct.
Okay. How was your running game when you went to the Super Bowl?
We had a real good running game.
Did Dallas have any of that the year before?
Correct.
None of that.
No.
And this year, listen,
right.
This year, our run, we had one of the worst receiving corps. We had CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and a Gimp. And we're saying, well, Dak Prescott, he wasn't considered, he's not elite. How can he be elite when you've got that? Take a look at Brock Purdy. I'm sick of 49er fans swearing that Brock Purdy is Joe Montana. He's a good quarterback. But when you got a good offensive line, when you got a physical wide receiver like Debo that gets tons of yards after catch, when you got a Brandon Ayuk, when you got a generational type of tight end, and you've got the best running back in football, it's not the same as Dak Prescott, what he had to work with this year even.
Okay, so
it's not the same even what Jalen Hurts had to work with this year.
All right, look, let me ask this, and this is for the entire gallery here. What year's Dallas Cowboy roster is comparable to this year's Philadelphia Eagles roster in terms of talent?
None. What 2016? I will give you 2016. The offensive line was at the pinnacle for Dak his rookie year. We still had Dez, although he was still kind of nicked up. We had like Cole Beasley. We had Zeke, who was playing at an elite level. And we actually played really well, went toe for toe against Aaron Rodgers. Dak had 304 yards, 3 TDs, going toe for toe against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers saves the game at the end of the game.
Okay.
Now, but my defense was nothing like what you guys had when you went on your run.
All right, so let me rephrase it then. What Cowboys offense, not the whole team, just offense, was comparable to this Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm not even going to say that 2007 would be with T.O. and Jason Witten and everything else.
Jason Witten.
But right now with Dak Prescott, none of them.
We've never had that type of wide receiver duo.
I was actually going for like during the Kellen Moore years.
None of them.
Oh, no, there's none.
None of them.
None.
Sorry, we never really look this year. I honestly have to say that this year with Ferguson is the best tight end play we've had in Dak Prescott's time, because Jason Witten was already old.
Yeah.
So
okay, our running back situation was piss poor. This is the worst that we've had during Dak's time. Early first couple of years, actually. Really, I'll say the first year of Zeke was incredible. The second year was marred by whether he was going to be suspended back and forth, and his head was not in it. By the time Zeke got paid, Zeke was on the way down. So that was there. And I will say from Dak Prescott's second year that the offensive line started really going off a cliff. That's when you first had the Chaz Green game, where Chaz Green came in and gave up like 6 sacks, and they decided we're not going to help him, and they just kept lighting us up. that was just terrible. Then you had the Travis Frederick ended up getting hurt and everything else. And then every year, every season, Tyron Smith was missing more and more games. And we never got the offensive line back together. And like I said, tight end has never been it. This was the best year, I'm going to say, with Ferguson at tight end that we've had during Dak Prescott's time. And I'm going to say wide receiving, of course, CeeDee Lamb had a great season, but you see CeeDee Lamb is hot and cold. He's hot and cold.
Right.
If he's checked out, forget it.
Right.
So no, I'm gonna honestly say now here's where I will give you Kellen Moore might work really good with your offense because you do have a lot of pieces, but I don't know that Jalen Hurts is that guy that you're going to be able to say, here it is. This is my guy that's going to be able to do all these different things.
Okay, so my next question is would it be fair to say, and I'm asking honestly, would it be fair to say that Kellen Moore hasn't had an offense like this before?
Well, I could say, look at the Chargers, all the players that they had over there.
Oh, so you think the San Diego Chargers offense is comparable to the Philadelphia Eagles offense?
I think they have some really good pieces.
I thought the Chargers play in LA, not San Diego.
Listen, I want you to, okay.
I'm sorry, LA,
but
yeah.
Hold on, though. But you guys could be without Jason Kelce. Now remember that.
Oh, that was the Cam Jurgens pick. He picked his successor in the draft a couple years.
But and picking your successor and having him be great like him are two different things.
Well, again, we've like when you think about like there's a succession plan that's in place, and when you point out like when folks point out the Kelce. You know what I'm saying? I always have to tell them, they actually asked him, and they addressed that like a couple years ago. And I think the kid was like almost an all-pro or something. This shit, Cam Jurgens, he did real good. He did so good that they think they may not want to move him from guard, but he's Jason Kelce's replacement.
But is he going to be a Hall of Famer like Jason Kelce?
I hope to God so. He had a really good. So far, you know, this was his rookie year. Last year was his rookie year. He did really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he's been and he's become a permanent part of the line too. So I'm really happy. Like I'm not all that like I really am concerned with seeing. I would like to see them draft Lane's replacement. You know, it's about time we start that succession plan there because I'm seeing the decline. And it's not that bad of a decline considering, you know, last year was the first year that he, I think, allowed a sack in like 2 years or some shit like that, some crazy ass stat he's got, you know, so he's doing really, and while we still got him like this, you know, I think it's time to get somebody to bring somebody in behind him. Sua Opeta, you know, and Jordan Mailata, you know, Sua's a free agent this year. So we may not bring him back, but we may. He had a really good year too. It turns out that the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, had like the number 2 or number 3 best offensive line in the regular season last year when PFF did their numbers and shit like that. They all actually did really good. So, you know, it's kind of you know, this is our team is, you know, we've got issues, but you know, it's nothing to the level where, you know, we have like family members going to the.
I'm gonna play a little clip here.
You got no corners.
I want some glory hole.
You got no linebacker.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got no cornerback.
I want to play. Listen, I'm having a deja vu moment, Leo. Leo. I want to play a little something from a Charger fan. Listen to this.
This man, he is an offensive genius. In my last video, a lot of Cowboys fans are telling us as Chargers fans that Kellen Moore is not a good offensive coordinator after he led the Cowboys to have the second best offense in the NFL since 2019 with Dak Prescott. Now, if you watch this video in its entirety,
with Dak Prescott,
and only look at the facts that I'm
only look at the facts, Leo. Only look at the facts.
You can think that Kellen Moore is not an expert play designer, or at least a really good offensive coordinator. Just give him really good. I mean, can we
just give him really good?
So I'm gonna pull up the film from the Cowboys versus Bears game, and
I'm gonna leave it right there. But oh my goodness,
I don't know if you have it, but it's a video that shows him before and after. That same guy.
I did actually. That's what I'm looking for because it was like, "What are you doing, Kellen Moore? Yeah. We got the worst offense in football."
I mean, just think about those 2 playoff games against San Francisco. The Cowboys called a quarterback draw with no timeouts. That's Kellen Moore.
Yep.
The Cowboys put Zeke at center. That's Kellen Moore.
And some of those, and the trick plays, Oh my God,
we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
You watch.
We're not doing.
You watch.
That was Kellen Moore. I'm sorry. It's a lot more of that, but y'all only saw that because it's playoff time. But it's a lot more of that stupid stuff during the season.
The Chargers are the worst team in the NFL. I cannot believe that performance against the Raiders. That was the worst performance that I have ever seen.
Same guy.
It's the Patriots game that we got blown out in 2020, man. This game makes this year worse than the year 2020 because my hopes and dreams were just completely shattered.
This is going to be you, Leo.
I was fooled. I was actually bought into this team. I thought Brandon Staley had a really talented roster.
But this is what happened.
I'm tricked just like everybody. Every single Chargers
this is going to be you, Leo.
We all thought this was a good team, and Justin Herbert had a lot of talent around him, but
Hey, Leo.
Whoa!
What was that? Now we're actually seeing what this team looks like without
Johnson
Justin
going to
Herbert.
Washington?
He was the only.
Oh shit, Leo, that's gonna be you, bro.
Brian Johnson going to Washington was a super dope move for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy about that, and the reason why I'm happy about that is because he took a coaching position. So that gives us, I think that gives us 2 compensatory picks.
No, wait a minute, not unless did he become an offensive coordinator? No, I'm sorry. You got to become a head coach or a GM. Because if that was the case, and this is where I was like, wait a minute. So Joe Witt got advanced to defensive coordinator. I was like, no, it doesn't count. He has to be hired as a head coach or into the front office. So unless he is,
it's got to be some sort of compensatory.
Nope.
It ain't happening, Leo.
You have to be hired as a head coach because that's how San Francisco. Because what's his name went to Tampa and to Miami, and things. They have to be either hired as a GM or a head coach.
You're right, because
I know I'm right.
Because when Shane and Jonathan left last year, we got
3rd round picks for those.
Yeah, and then remember when Frank Wright left, we got paid for that too.
Right, but it has to be a head coaching.
He went
or it has to be a GM.
Become an Indianapolis head coach. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got the. So I'm all look, sweet. I'm about the long game. So just like how you guys feel about
the ladies said they don't want no soft.
So who?
The ladies in here. I'm all about the long game. The ladies in here said they don't want no soft.
Hey, better be careful messing with me.
Okay.
Yeah. But my point is you know what I'm saying? Like I'm also thinking about, again, from a compensatory pick aspect of things, you know what I'm saying? I pay attention to that type of stuff.
Well, we're going to get to, okay. Unfortunately, we traded our 4th for, what's his name from San Francisco. And we traded our 5th, of course, getting Brandon Cooks. But looks like we're going to get a 5th and a 6th as far as compensatory picks this year. So that helps to fill us in. But the problem for us, and this is the thing that worries me about Washington. Washington have the number 2 pick, means they also have the 34th pick. So their 2nd pick is almost as good as our 1st pick, which is 26. So
we have 22, I think.
Yeah, so we're picking late in the draft.
Yeah.
Don't have a 3rd round pick. And our picks last year didn't do anything to help us. And we need help on the offensive line, running backs for sure, and we need linebackers. There's no way in the world we're going to be able to help take care of the deficits that we need from the draft and think that they're going to be plug in and they're going to help us go on a run. We have to use free agency. Yep. And it can't be the bottom barrel ones that we move. We can't do it because Jerry, we're already hearing people talking about Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner would be an upgrade for us, but Bobby Wagner has still got a lot of miles that are on his system. Would I not welcome Bobby Wagner? I would definitely take him over having a safety up there. But we need to get some guys that are going to be lights out.
So
that's where you need a Patrick Queen. You need a younger guy who can be in there. Although, and that's not the only thing. We sit here and we talk about San Francisco's. God, my brain is just not working today. Their linebacker, but you look at what he's got in front of him. Greenlaw, and their other one,
Fred Warner.
Yeah, when you've got those two guys, their job is a hell of a lot easier when you have a good front line. See, you guys have a good defensive front, which makes the linebacker's job that much better. See, people don't understand. They pick a run stopper, your big defensive lineman. If you look at their numbers aren't a whole lot of tackles. You look at linebackers where they've got 100, 120, or Bobby Wagner 160. The job of the defensive line, the interior ones, is to occupy the space, hold your gap, and keep the offensive linemen from touching the linebacker so the linebackers make the tackles. We weren't great at doing that, and the linebackers we had were light in the ass and can't make plays going downhill to stop people.
Well, Vander Esch went down.
Once Vander Esch, the thing is, he's made of glass. The problem with the Cowboys is they're never proactive. They're always reactive. We're going to bring Tyron Smith back, I can guarantee you, and we won't have a backup plan for him until he goes down. And then it's just like we did with Jason Peters. Oh shit, Tyron Smith went down. Surprise. We need to get somebody. Let's get a 40-year-old Jason Peters.
Who didn't last? Okay.
And here it is. Leighton Vander Esch goes down. Yep. Well, let's just take a safety and we'll make him a linebacker.
Right.
That's the problem with the Cowboys is we get some really good players that also get a lot of notoriety and become Pro Bowlers because we them boys and we got the biggest network that's out there. But we have so many holes and deficits in other places that keeps you from being a great team.
Mind you, $60 million in the books with Dak. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to pay.
Listen. Stop. This is the bullshit that they keep telling you about Dak. Dak is the reason. Listen, Dak Prescott. Just listen. Hear me out for a second. Go ahead. Dak Prescott's cap hits. First year, $680,000. Second year, $680,000. Third year, $680,000. Fourth year, $2 million. Then he was franchise tagged for 31. Then he got his big payday that everybody's talking about. Oh, he's $40 million a year. His first year, $17 million cap hit. Second year, $19 million cap hit. Last year, $26 million cap hit. The reason why his number is at 59 for this year is because they've restructured each and every year because they've gone through and done stupid shit like paying Zeke and then cutting him, paying Jalen Smith and then cutting him, signing Michael Gallup to a big-ass contract and he's gimpy. They keep making mistakes, and where they put it, we got to use Dak Prescott as a piggy bank, get some more money. And they'll go through, they'll redo his deal, get an extension, and his cap number will probably be in the 20s again. So everybody keeps focusing in, oh my God, Dak Prescott, he's $59 million. The reason he's $59 million is because they've restructured it. Take a look at your guy who's now over 50. What was his cap number this year? $7 million?
Correct. No, but
next year, what is his cap number? Like 16 million?
Yeah, I think it's like 16
He's 52 million a year.
Yeah.
So the number that you see versus the actual cap number, which is what really matters, is the thing. Everybody wants to blame Dak. And see, here's where Jerry Jones has his out. He's going to try and lowball Dak Prescott. And if I'm Dak Prescott with all the shit that I take and everything else and see that you had me for $1 million a year, you didn't go all in then. You didn't go all in. You had me for under $2 million for 4 years. What did you do to help me during that time? What big name player did the Cowboys sign?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So why should I look at saying, let me give you a team-friendly deal? What are you going to do with it? You ain't doing. You spend it to use it on me. I take it for every dime they got. Why?
You actually got rid of somebody like Amari. You had Amari.
You got rid of Amari. You got rid of Zeke and didn't replace either of them.
Yeah.
So,
and the reason why I brought that up was because I was saying my point in bringing that up was not in a blame perspective. It was more so saying, we just got finished hearing.
New York Hubby asked how much Dak made over the years again. Sorry, lost volume. Okay. Rhonda, first 3 years, under $1 million. Year number 4, $2 million. Year number 5 was the franchise tag, which was the worst, which was 32, I think. Mm-hmm. And then it was 17, 19, and 26. Mm-hmm. So that's not the reason why the Cowboys couldn't put talent. Although the narrative is because you're paying Dak Prescott $40 million. Mm. Nobody batted an eye that the Giants are paying Daniel Jones $40 million, are they? Nobody batted an eye that the Cleveland Browns are paying $230 million fully guaranteed to Deshaun Watson, did they? Nobody talks about $47 million that's going to Kyler Murray, right? Yeah. You can go through. Nobody's talking about the 52 that went to Justin Herbert, who has yet to win a playoff game, right? Yeah. And Trevor Lawrence, he's going to get his deal this year too. Yeah. And nobody will bat an eye when he's like 54, 55 million.
Yep. Now, the thing is, though, is, if you're talking about being major players in free agency, you know what I'm saying?
They can be if they want to be. If you go through, here's the thing. If they go through and say, Dak, we're going to go ahead and get you an extension, we'll put some voidable years in there, they can get his cap number from 59 million to probably like 20 easily. That's 40 right there. You need 19 to get back to even. You got CeeDee Lamb, whose cap number is 17. You get him an extension, you can lower that cap number by about 10 and make him the highest paid wide receiver. So now you're talking about you've got 30 million right there to work with. You can get Diggs' deal. You can get yourself about 8 right there. You got Zach Martin's that you can get another 10. You got D-Laws that you can get about another 5 out of. You could end up getting Dak, CD locked down, pay Micah Parsons, and still have about 60 million left over. If you wanted to. If you are really meaning that we're going to go all in, you could do that. Then you could go out there and get a Patrick Queen to go ahead. You could go out there. You could get a Derrick Henry as a running back, okay? And still have money left over to say, we're going to go ahead and find a stud. You don't need a whole lot of players. If you got one lights-out linebacker, one stud offensive lineman, and a good running back, then you can go in the draft and say, let's go ahead and draft a left tackle. Right? First round, second round, let's get another linebacker, and you can use and say, or even the best players available. You can open up the draft to the best players. And now all of a sudden you've got a decent team. You've got CD. Maybe you go out and you say, let's go out and get another really good stud receiver to go with them. That's how you and Leo.
For
I wish
brother.
I
don't know.
Oh, right, Stephon. Now that's going to cost you some money. But see, Leo, I wish that the Cowboys had some of the Eagles' moxie of let's go in and let's support our quarterback. Yeah, because when you guys decided we don't know if Jalen Hurts is the guy, we got some picks that we can use next year to get the guy if he's not. In the meantime, let's get him a really good wide receiver to go with this great offensive line. Let's support him and see, can he swim or not? We don't do that. In the last few years, we've lost Amari Cooper and we've lost Zeke Elliott. Mm-hmm. We haven't upgraded in running back in how long? We haven't upgraded in wide receiver in how long?
Right. CD.
Since CD. Offensive line. Now, we did get lucky with Tyler Smith going in here, but Biotish, 4th round drafted center. He's not Travis Frederick. Mm-hmm. He's not Kelsey. And Tyron Smith can't stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went out and you've got an undrafted free agent and Terrence Steele who had an ACL.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting here bitching about Dak sucks. What are you doing to try and get him up? If you're saying that Dak can't win it on his own, then why are you trying to have him win it on his own? Support the man and try and see if you can collectively win the Super Bowl. That seems to be a better plan to just say, well, Dak, you got to win it on your own.
Well, here lies where I'm like, as an Eagles fan, there are certain things I'm starting to, like, even just listening, I realize, oh wow, I've enjoyed a bit of stability in places that you guys haven't, listening to what you're saying, and for instance, like when you talk about your offensive line, I'm like, damn, thank God we have Jeff Stoutland as our O-line coach, because we transitioned well when Jason Peters left, you know what I'm saying, with Jordan Mailata, but that was because Jason played so well for a couple of years that it allowed Jordan Mailata to develop coming out of that foreigners exchange program, and Jeff Stoutland coaching them up. But then you also had Kelsey and Lane Johnson. We had some really good studs on our O-line for the last few years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm appreciative, after hearing this take on things coming from you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I can't.
But see, here's the thing that's kind of crazy. When I look at it, when I think about how bad we were in 2020 with the worst defense in football in the history of the Cowboys, that the fact that the Cowboys have been able to actually win consistently without doing what other teams do. The biggest move we have made since 2012 is Brandon Carr and Greg Hardy.
Right.
There are no other premium free agents that the Cowboys have signed. We've gone out to try and get the Gerald McCoys, but he got injured in training. We signed guys like Dontari Poe and Jason Peters, guys that are past their prime. We don't go out there and say, no, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. We did go out and get Amari Cooper, which actually paid dividends because we went 3-5.
Amari Cooper wasn't lighting it up with the Raiders before he came.
True, he was on that, but we still paid a number one for him. And unfortunately, I see some Amari Cooper and CeeDee, where his emotions, he can shut down and disappear.
Is that what you think happened in the Green Bay game?
I don't know what happened, but CeeDee was on Micah's podcast and basically saying, I got to grow up, looking like a 5-year-old sitting there with his coveralls and stuff hanging down and eating looked like a Vienna sausage on a stick.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm looking at this and thinking, I don't see Michael Irvin right there. Okay.
Right.
I see like a little kid that, you let me take your hot dog away. He's going to cry.
Yeah.
I need to see some dog, but I'm told that that's kids today, or that's this generation, and that's where I'm in a total. When I heard D-Law say, we were tired.
Tired, yeah.
What the hell? You got one job. It's not to be tired. I'll accept losing it. Bad call by the officials. We fumbled the football. We got out schemed, but I don't ever want to hear that you were too tired.
Yeah. I said that during the season, and y'all ate me up, so I learned my lesson. You know what I'm saying? I learned my lesson. You know what I'm saying? But what I will tell you is that, again, watching how you guys, I'm still kind of confused. Like, I'm like, how are y'all able to win like you've been winning when we go over this stuff? Because
that's what I'm saying. If anything, people keep saying that we underperform. I sit there and look and say, we didn't have an elite defensive line and we had no linebackers. We had some pass rushers and we had some good DBs. I don't know how, quite honestly, I think they overachieved.
Well,
I can look at your defensive line and then I look at my defensive line. There's no comparison between the two of them. You guys have a lot more players on there.
Right.
Our second leading sacker was Dorrance Armstrong with 7 sacks.
Right.
And after that, it was Sam Williams with 4.
How did the rookie do, Mozzie Smith?
Not great. He couldn't get in.
Mozzie Smith, he was the anti-Jordan Davis. He's under 300 pounds right now.
Yeah, they're trying to slim him out for some reason. I don't get that. We need an unstoppable.
When we need a load in the middle. Hey, we know you're 340 pounds and a run stopper, but we need to make you something else. That's the Cowboys. Well, listen, he's got one job. He's a big fat ass to plug the middle. Okay, why are you trying to change him into something else?
Right. Wow. Okay. Wow. And Jalen Carter finished second in defensive rookie of the year.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I also think about in comparison to, because like you got like some you got Jordan Davis coming back on his third year, and it looks like this new defensive line coach that we picked up looked like he's gonna put his foot way up Jordan Davis's ass. He's gonna get them all fired up. You know what I'm saying? He's just as big as Jordan Davis too. And then I was about to say something earlier about having Keely Ringo, and some of these other young DBs that'll be in their second year. So I like the youngins that we got, and with the draft capital that we have, I think we can get even better, especially when you look at from the safety position. You know what I'm saying? Sidney Brown is not going to be ready to go.
Right.
And then you figure Reed Blankenship, he's still sold up for a minute, and then we could draft somebody or even bring in a Jeremy Chin or something like that, and because he was on our radar last year too, so, and then you look at the inside linebackers coach that we picked up from Tennessee, and looks like there's a real investment. There's been a real investment in that position, when you think about them bringing that coach in, and then maybe we got Nakobe Dean coming back off of injury. We can't rely on him, but I hope he does well this year. You know what I'm saying? He need, since we drafted him. You got Nolan Smith, who'll be just coming off of injury, and this will be his second year. And maybe even bring in another a free agent in the linebacker position, and then get get Hassan and Josh sewed up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to, if we bring Fletcher Cox back, it'll be for a lot less money than what we had him last year. I don't want to put if we're gonna move on, then we'll move on. But it'd be nice to have him back and BG too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we do have enough in place that we can go ahead and make that transition too. And it doesn't have to hurt so bad. But and again, like you said, and Milton Williams. You know what I'm saying? He had a hell of a year too. You know what I'm saying? So that's I like to see, how some of that draft capital was spent along with bringing in a few free agents, but it's not that bad. Dire straits, put it like that.
Well, we have gone way over for today, and we've bitched at the Cowboys quite a bit, and we've heard, Leo's got a genius at offensive coordinator, and best of luck with that. And
we'll see what he does with this offense versus what he could do with your offense and your quarterback.
Look at the Chargers.
Justin Herbert isn't Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott isn't Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's better.
So Kellen Moore's he's inheriting a Ferrari. Let's see how he does driving this Ferrari.
Right off a cliff.
That again?
Right off a cliff.
Yeah, and I hope I can hope for nothing more than for y'all to be wrong. I want to prove this offense to prove everyone wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Grand Canyon, Leo.
I hear you, Leo. Best of luck with that.
Hey, I tell you this much though. You know what I'm saying? You guys will need a lot more work, a lot more luck and prayer than we are right now. I mean, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, you guys actually aren't scared to make moves. So.
Yeah, Angelica bought her own. Yes, we're over 85,000. I'm just like, I don't know where they're all coming from. I guess misery loves company, and they like seeing the Cowboys go downhill. And I guess I've been bitching and moaning about my players and stuff.
Wait, there's 85,000 people watching this right now?
No, subscribers.
Okay. Hey, Mark, you're the man.
Yeah, 85,000 watching. If there was 85,000 watching, I wouldn't be getting ready to get out of here.
Wait, before you go, Mark. So, because this is also something that I was kind of like wanting to get your opinion on too. In fact, all y'all. So, how do you guys feel after hearing the story about how you guys almost ended up with DeAndre Swift and what Stephen Jones did?
I said that last week. You way late. You should have brought your ass in here last Saturday. I was the one that brought that up.
Yeah, look, man. It was my birthday, so
that's old news, Leo.
I'm catching up, man. So tell me, what did you say?
I was the one that brought that up. You see, DeAndre Swift was supposed to be traded to Dallas.
Right.
And trifling ass Steven, his bad ass, what Mark said last week, Jerry's badass son didn't want to do anything. He come up from Detroit that he was gonna call back later, and he didn't. And then come to find out, it was DeAndre Swift, and he found out about it. And when DeAndre Swift got picked up by Philadelphia, in the press conference, all he was just talking about was Dallas this and Dallas that. And I kind of put two and two together. Tomorrow, brought it to everybody's attention.
Now, one thing I will say though was Swift played. I mean, that was his best year he's had. Looking at some
used too.
Huh?
I feel like they could have used him more too.
Oh, they could have, but I'm saying that I don't think he had over 600 yards in any of the other years that he had. You know, he was kind of like Tony Pollard as far as being used and things. That's not to say you don't look at that and say he's just not getting that many touches, that he could fit our system, especially when the cupboard was bare. But the fact that if that was the case, that Catboy didn't even talk to anybody about it, and he didn't know who the player was, then you know we got problems.
Right.
And look, Mark, you know what I'm saying? Imagine us bringing him back, you know what I'm saying, and then drafting somebody to play behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like it could really, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, these are the things that us Eagles fans say amongst each other when we talk, you know, like in terms of things that we really want. And everyone wants DeAndre Swift back. And he's a local boy too. He's from Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, please, bring him back. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I hear you.
He makes moving on from Miles Sanders a good thing. You know what I'm saying? We did well.
Well, the Cowboys definitely need to upgrade what we're doing in positions. Running back, we didn't have a bruising between the tackles back. And, you know, as much as everybody wants to say Josh Allen is generational, the funny thing is you think about what they did. They changed offensive coordinators, and they kind of took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands more, which made them more effective. He only threw the ball 16 times against us. They ran rush shot over us. And it's as much as they basically devalued running backs, you see still the importance of having a running game. You know, everybody will talk about Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes didn't honestly have a great season this year. And you look at that game against Baltimore, if Kansas City's defense does not get those 3 takeaways, they're not winning that game. They're not winning that game. And the way Pacheco ran,
right?
Yeah, you know, Pacheco was a beast. You can look at that and say Dallas ain't got none of that.
No.
If Dak would have been on Kansas City in that game, they still would have won.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you this: if Pacheco if he have a game like he did against Baltimore tomorrow,
they win it.
They beat Frisco.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I got them beating Frisco anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? So here's my situation. So on my Instagram page, I have a thing called the Bird Section, and I made some videos saying some pretty disparaging things about the San Francisco 49ers and their fan base. Because I didn't realize how hurt they were when they lost to us in the playoffs last year. And it went over my head. And because of that, and the way that I was acting, San Francisco 49er fans have been cooking me. They have been cooking the shit out. They've been getting me. Because I said some pretty awful things. And I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I take ownership of it all. I don't care. And so now I just realized that they haven't won about as long as you guys haven't won. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you just not knowing that.
It's just not talked about.
Yeah, but it just blew my mind. Like I just realized that, like, and I didn't know that, I just found out not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? And I just realized it not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wait a minute. I was in high school or junior high last time they won. And so it was like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's so now I have a new focus when it comes to the football world other than Dallas. And now it's San Francisco 49er fans. They get it. They'll start getting my attention more.
Wow.
That's it. All right. Well, look, guys.
We're going to get out of here.
Thank you for allowing me into your world again. You know what I'm saying, Mark?
Not a problem.
We gotta get together, man. Do this State of the Union address. Now that I've heard some things.
You and I will get together. We'll do something, just the two of us here, and
absolutely,
and go from there. All right, good people.
The thing is, the way the news is going, I don't know when should we do it, because every time I turn around, it's something going on with y'all.
Yeah, that's the way Jerry likes it. That's the way he likes it. All right, good people. Let me say to my panel, thank you, everybody, very, very much. It's great to see Asia. I keep saying Asia because that's my daughter's name. Asia Robertson. And Derek J, definitely putting out all the idiots out there, and he's reacting to them and stuff. Loyal Cowboy, hanging out with my buddy Game Time Brian. Thomas Garrett, traveling the world and having a great time. Leo, smoking them up one at a time. And did I get everybody? And appreciate everybody, and keep the faith, man, and keep the pressure up on Catboy and Jerry Jones. So hopefully maybe they'll hear us, and maybe something will be different.
If we bitch enough, maybe they'll get word will get back to them and they'll do something. But,
although,
hey, Kevin, your video be cracking me up.
Keep doing what y'all doing, Jerry's Catboy. I love y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, they crack me up too.
Yeah, stay on it.
There you go. Most of the time, I feel like I'm just getting hit in the head.
I have a video of Michael Irvin that was. Oh shit! Oh, fuck! Damn! Ow! That hurt. Damn!